Danger doesn't lurk at every corner. It's just hanging out, waiting for fear and horror to show up. Hey, spooky siblings, and welcome to Left on Red. My name is Red, and this is Wicked Wednesdays. Today we'll talk about Jinns, also known as Genies. Now, Polty, what do you think about Jinns?
Oh, I know all about Jinns. They're all blue, sound like Robin Williams, and I want to be friends with all of them.
I'm guessing you haven't watched The Return of Jafar.
No, because it's not real. I refuse.
Well, you're in for a treat. Story number 1. My family friend very reluctantly told me a story about her brother who went to university in Pakistan in the 70s. He had one roommate who the family was very close to. They had been studying together for years and were living in the dorm together. They came home late one night, and my family friend's brother asked his friend to turn off the light by the door because he was tired and wanted to go directly to bed. His roommate replied, "If you make me turn off that light, we will no longer be friends." To which my family friend's brother laughed and said, "Come on, man, just turn off the light." They went back and forth for a while, his roommate resisting and him continuing to ask him to turn off the light. His roommate's arm stretched from across the room and flipped off the light, and my family friend's brother passed out from fear. The next morning, all his belongings were gone, and so was he. He was inhuman. He was a Jinn. Next story. A relative told me that once him and his dad were on a long drive back home from the outskirts of the city, and because the area was not developed and not densely populated, the roads were not maintained or smooth. He told me that their car was the only one on the road and the only lights were their cars. And they were going down the road. It was nighttime, if it's not obvious. After a while, they noticed lanterns floating out on a farming land. As it's near a village, the road is in between fields and a lot of trees. He said that it looked like as if there were thousands of lanterns about 7 feet from the ground, and weirdly, they were not illuminating the land around them. Only lights floating. Him and his dad were feeling a bit sleepy and had music on before. But the remaining hours of the journey were spent wide awake with the Quran radio. Next story. The first house I lived in was mega haunted. The best kind, if you ask me, Polty. Literally everyone in the family had an encounter and the stories matched. I often felt I heard my name muttered, but I chalked that up to my overactive imagination. Then one day all the cousins were staying over in the summer, and I had to wake up at 3-ish to drink some water. Our drawing room was connected to the kitchen through a long store passage. When I tried to open the door to the store, it wouldn't budge, and I felt someone watching me. I turned around, but there was no one there. I tried again, and the door opened. I walked to the fridge and tried. Again, some resistance. I again felt someone watching, and I swear I felt I heard a chuckle. Frustrated, I yelled, "यार अगर डराना है तो सामने आके डराओ, ये बच्चों वाली हरकतें ना करो."
Wow, that sounds scary. Are you sure this guy isn't a magician or something?
Now, Polty, that translates into, buddy, if you want to scare me, come in front of me. Don't act like a child.
Oh, okay.
I opened the fridge, took out the water bottle, gulped some water down hurriedly, then spun around to come face to face with a black, hulking figure just staring down at me with sparkling white eyes. I wanted to scream, run, but I couldn't. I just stared into those hauntingly empty eyes as they stared down at me. I don't know when he phased out, because I couldn't move a muscle. When he had vanished, I just ran down the length of the store and jumped into the blankets. That was the last time I challenged a supernatural entity. Last story. A family was living in a rented place for most of their life abroad. Turns out there used to live a Jinn as well. The Jinn wasn't looking to harm anyone, but it had some conditions, like when you cook any sweet dish, keep a portion of it in a bowl in an empty room. Leave it like that for a few minutes and the bowl would be empty. No perfume for some reason, and the Jinn didn't want them to leave. Let me explain the last one. I can't train other humans to live with me. The Jinn said something along these lines. Every few years, the family would start looking for a new place in secret to make sure the Jinn doesn't find out about it. Every single time, the new owners would say yes, and a few days later, something or the other would happen, and they'll lose the contract. I told you, you'll either go back to your country or live with me until that happens. So, Polty, what do you think of Jinns now? They're not all so friendly, are they?
Well, first of all, you're wrong. Second of all, you're wrong. Third of all, they're all blue, sound like Robin Williams, and sing Arabian Nights like Arabian days.
And that was Wicked Wednesdays. My name is Red, and this is Left on Red. If you like this video, please don't forget to press like and subscribe, and press the bell notification button so that you get notified every time I upload a new video. Until next time.